Hi guys, and welcome to a wrap-up video. This one will be for my April Cat-Walk TBR. I read a lot of books, but not specifically for my Cat-Walk TBR. So, for example, these books not done yet. Now I am. Are all the physical books I read. But not all of them were for my Cat-Walk TBR. So as I do these wrap-ups, I'll let you know, because I did, oh, I'm sorry to disturb you. I will tell you what readathons, the prompts, all of that. But this particular wrap-up is just for my April game. So, when I'm filming this, it is, looking for my phone, it is April 23rd. Okay, I have this week. I will finish the book I'm currently reading. Let me grab that. So I'll finish the book I'm currently reading. I am on page 330, which is chapter 15 in my edition, and there's 838. So I have 508 pages left. I will finish this one this week. I may get an additional book done. So I just don't know which one I'm going to get done. And as far as digital books, I'm not going to get an additional book done. I am still working on my one digital book. So, all right. So I did not complete my TBR for April, but that is perfectly fine. I am okay with that. Now, I did not complete my my March Cat-Walk TBR, so I had a punishment draw. The punishment I drew was a book called Generation Manifestation, and it is an ebook. So I actually am currently reading that on my Kindle. I am on, let's see, Waking Up. So this is my, it's written by Stevenson, Bereznai? I don't know. I'm on chapter 14, which is 34%. So I have reached the 34% mark. I'm on page 82 out of 249, and there are 30, according to my Kindle, there's actually 41 chapters according to my Kindle. So I will get this one done this month. As of right now, it's sitting at like a 3-star. Granted, I'm not even 100 pages in. It's like a dystopian. People will do what's called a manifestation, which means they come into some superhero powers. So they manifest, and they have to go through testing. When they reach a certain age, they're allowed to test so many times, and then when they reach a certain age, it's very unlikely that they will manifest some superhero type powers. So the older you get, the less likely. It's not impossible, but it is less likely. And you have these people called protectors, and if you step out of line, the protectors will take you away. They're there to try to protect humanity as far as keeping and enforcing the rules and things like that. You have, I'm at the point where they are starting training for a potential career. They have like a list of 5 fits for their abilities that they've been watched for while growing up and in school, like that fits their abilities and their interests. And so now they're going into testing for those and like to train and see if they will be a good fit for that actual field. So that's where I'm at right now. That's really all I can say. I'm not far enough in to give you more information. So I will complete that one. I will complete my punishment read. Okay, so then with playing my game, I landed, the first prompt I got was Great Hearing. This is to listen to an audiobook. I picked the book One Way or Another by McDowell. I have not listened to any audiobooks this month. I mean, I've listened to audiobooks while I've read the physical or books. There's no audiobook for my punishment book. But for physical books, I have listened to quite a few audiobooks, but I have not listened to this selection for this one. So, which is perfectly fine. That'll just be read at a later date. The second prompt I got on my game is water. So this is a book that has to do with water, takes place at, near, in water, or water on the cover, something with water. So for this one I picked Has Anyone Seen My Toes? Unfortunately, I have not gotten to this one. I really do want to. I might pick this one. This might be the one that I pick. I don't know. It depends on my mood because, look, I'm just going to show you. These are the books I have not completed. Okay? These are the physical books I have not completed. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's 8. I might be able to complete 3. And the reason why I say 3 is this is a middle grade. And this one is less than 200 pages. I could read this one in one day. Same thing with my Fear Street book, okay? Sleepwalker. So these two I could complete in 2 separate days, 1 per day. And then that would leave me 6 books. These ones are, I have one that I know is a YA. I could probably do this one too. And then that would leave me 5 adult books to pick from. I don't know which one. I really want to get to all of these, so I don't know what I'm going to pick. I have to film this now, even though I have this last full week of April, because I need to get these videos edited and uploaded because I will be in Colorado for a week to help my mom with stuff to, like, she has to get with my 2 aunts and pick the headstone and stuff for my grandma that passed away in January. So we have a couple of little loose ends to tie up as far as that goes. So we're going to be in Colorado, and I don't know how much reading I'm going to get done that first week. So that's okay. All right, anyway, so for water I picked Has Anyone Seen My Toes? This is written by Christopher Buckley. This seems like it's going to be pretty comedic. It seems very short. I don't know. Like, it's not even 300 pages. So I'm not sure what else I'm going to get done as far as reading goes for this month because I do have to work every day this week. Well, I'm off today and tomorrow, or Monday and Tuesday. So I can get some stuff, but I have like laundry and packing and stuff because I'll have to work every day the rest of the week. So I'm not sure what my reading's going to look like the rest of this week. So that's why I'm like, I'm just going to count this as incomplete. So anyway, let's go ahead and move on. The next prompt I got was another great hearing space on my Cat-Walk TBR game, which is, again, an audiobook. For this one, I picked Martha Washington by Patricia Brady. This is a nonfiction, and it's a biography, memoir, autobiography, something like that. But it's all about Martha Washington. I would like to read a book for every president of the United States, as well as, so far it's all been first ladies that's been with them. So I would like to read about their lives as well. So I did listen to a book about George Washington. Next up, I want to listen to a book about Martha Washington, and then I will pick the next president and his wife, and then just kind of go from there. I would like to read at least 1 book per president and first lady. So that's my goal. So I did not get to that one. Next prompt I got was kitten and adult. So this one I had to flip a coin, whether it was a digital coin on my phone, like a coin flipper generator, or an actual coin. I don't remember what I did, which one of those I did. So if I get heads, it's to read a book that is greater than or equal to 5 years old. If I get tails, it's to read a book that is 5 years old or less, or more recent. So I ended up getting heads. So this is to read a book that's 5 years old or older. And for this one, I picked The Twisted Window by Lois Duncan. This is an old library book. This is definitely older than 5 years. It has the name of Anya, or A-N-I-A, in the cover. This book, or at least this edition, it has a stamp of October 1989, copyright 1987. So I'm sure, so depending on the month this came out, I was like 3 or 4 years old, depending on when this came out in 1987. More than likely I was 3 when this came out. So I haven't gotten to this one, but I do want to. I do like Lois Duncan's writing, and so I do want to get to that. Next up, I got Nap Time. This is to read a book that is greater than or equal to 500 pages. I am currently working on this one. That one I am reading Assassin's Quest by Robin Hobb. As I said earlier in the video, I'm on page 330. There's 838. So I'll get a good chunk of it done today. I'm not sure how much I'll get done. I hope to be at least in the 500s by the end of today, and then just keep working on it. So I hope to have this book done by the end of Tuesday. I am listening to the audiobook along with this, and I have like 11 and a half hours left of the audiobook. So I hope to get that done within the next couple of days. So I am working on that, loving it so far, really enjoying it. So we're following, in the first book, you have the bastard son who is Fitz Chivalry. He is the bastard son of the Prince and King in Waiting, Prince Chivalry, and because he is the bastard son, he is not fully considered a royal, but yet, according to the commoners, he is not a full commoner, so he's kind of stuck in between. The king takes a special interest in him, and he has started to be trained up to be the royal assassin. So we're just following his life on that. Okay. Next up, so those are all the books of my Catwalk TBR. Now, I did land on the space for cat videos. It means I had to pull a booktuber out of a jar that I have, and these booktubers all have a TBR game that they have at some point or the other played. Some of them haven't posted for a while, some of them have. This particular one I pulled, and I will link her channel in the description box. I pulled Sam from A Life of Lit, and this was for her February game. She did not have a March game. I don't even know if she has a March game out yet. Anyway, doesn't matter. Or an April game. But when I did this, I played my game in March to pick the prompts for April. So this went off of her February game. And I still have not completed everything, which is fine. So the first prompt that she got is she had a viewer recommended jar. So I just pulled for my TBR game. I ended up with another ebook, which was Unleashing the Shadows by Patti, Frazee. I have not gotten to that one. So, and I don't plan on getting to that this month. Next up, she got skip a prompt. But yeah, she still had a prompt, so I guess she could skip a prompt. I'm not quite sure. But the official prompt was a book that has a map. For this one, I did read A Time of Dread by John Gwynne. This is book number 1 in Of Blood and Bone. I gave this one 5 stars. I absolutely love John Gwynne's writing. This series takes place after the events of the Faithful and the Fallen series. So like Malice, Valor, that series where there's 4 books. This one's a trilogy. So definitely read the Faithful and the Fallen series before you delve into this. And the reason why I say that is you have events in here that are reflected back on in the first series. So events from the first series are reflected back on in this series. And there's also a bit more as far as the Elohim and the... I can't remember even the name of the other ones that are technically good or bad or whatever. But it's a battle between good and evil. It has a very Viking feel. There's a lot of war. It is very gory with the bloodshed. You have decapitations, spilling of the bowels because their stomachs get sliced open. It's war. Okay, dismemberment. It's war. It does get very gory, which I am here for. I do like that. So I gave this one 5 stars. I bought the second book in the series called A Time of Blood, and I am so excited to get to that one at some point in the future. So that's that one. Okay, moving on. The next prompt that Sam got was where she had to pick 2 books for 1 prompt, and the prompt was a 1-word title. Now she ended up doing 2 because she forgot to pick 2 books for this one, so the following prompt she got 2 books for. I went ahead and did this one because that's how it was supposed to be. For the 2, so 1-word title, I picked 4 by Veronica Roth. I did not get to this one. And I also did picked, where is it? Haunted by R.L. Stine. I did read this one. This one I ended up giving 4 stars, and it's like the title says, it is haunted, and so it does have a haunting. It has the paranormal, which I love the paranormal aspects in books. This one we are following Melissa. She hears a tapping on her window. She's freaking out. There's this, she lives on Fear Street, and there's this person that's called the Fear Street Prowler. He's breaking into homes, and so she's kind of freaking out because of that. And then there's this haunting, and of course her parents don't believe her. And so you're following the events of, is this in her head because no one else believes her? or is it really happening, and kind of what's going on. So you're following her as those events unfold, and things like that. 4 stars. I loved it. Not everyone will give this a 4-star. I can see this being, like, if I had never read Fear Street, I could see myself giving that more like a 3-star. But it gets that extra star because of nostalgia. So, okay, moving on. The next prompt that Sam drew was a new release. So for this one I went with, now this was released in Australia before it was released here in America. So I went with the release date here in, I mean, it's new release, doesn't have to be that month, but it's a fairly new release. And I went with Everyone in My Family Has Killed Someone. I did not get to this one. I really do. I'm bummed I did not get to this one, but at some point I will. And this was written by Benjamin Stevenson. So at some point I'll get to this. I'm just bummed I didn't get to it this month. Like most of these books, I'm bummed I didn't get to. So, okay. It's not looking too good for what I was able to get done. I've only completed, out of everything I've told you, I'm currently reading 2. I've completed 2. And so 4 books so far from my TBR will be completed by the end of the month. Hopefully it'll go up to 5 or 6. So anyway, let's go ahead and move on. The next prompt that Sam got was a pretty cover. So for this one I chose The Lost Melody by Joanna Davidson Politano. This is a Once Upon a Book Club edition. You have sprayed edges, you have the gal there, a piano, antique piano, pretty end page. It's just a pretty book. And then you have under the dust jacket that. So I count this as a pretty cover. Unfortunately, I did not get to this one, so we're going to go ahead and move on because I can't tell you anything about it where I didn't read it. Next prompt she got was thriller. So this one I chose The Lies I Tell by Julie Clark. Again, did not get to this book. And I'll tell you why in a minute, why I did not get to all of these. Next up was, let's see. Okay, a book under 400 pages. I did do this one. I did do this one. Where is it? Where's my book? Oh, here it is. I read Switched by R.L. Stine. I gave this one 5 stars. This has got to be like the 5th time I've reread this book. I think this is one of my favorite original Fear Street books by R.L. Stine. This one we're following Nicole and her friend Lucy. Well, we're following Nicole. And Lucy and Nicole go to the Fear Street graveyard. There's this wall that when you jump over you can switch lives with someone else, like you switch bodies. And that's what happens. And then Nicole finds out some things that Lucy has done that are not good. And Nicole wants her body back and is now on the hunt for Lucy. And Lucy is pretty much on the run from Nicole. Dead bodies keep piling up. And yeah, you're following those events. I loved it. This one was my favorite. One of my favorites, if not the favorite, Fear Street standalone. Even though it's all in a series, you can read these in any order. I love this one, so I'm very happy I got to that one. Okay, let's go ahead and move on. Next prompt was Enemies to Lovers. So I picked The Worst Best Man by Sosa, and unfortunately I did not get to this one. I am still interested in reading this one. It is an Enemies to Lovers. It does allude to that in the synopsis on the back, and in the title, because it's The Worst Best Man. Hell hath no fury like a bride scorned. You know, it's just, yeah, it's an adult romance, and I think it does get pretty spicy from what I have heard other people that have read it talked about, which has not been much, but I do want to get to that at some point. Did not get to it, so I can't tell you anything about it. Okay, we're on the last 2 prompts that Sam got, and this one is called Number in the Title. For this one, I went with 3 Tainted Teas by Lynn Cahoon. This is book number 3 in a Kitchen Witch mystery series. This is a cozy mystery series. The main character's name is Mia. She has kind kind of like a catering business that takes place in a school that is no longer in use. So she's converted it to for her business. She has a friend who is the sister of her ex-fiance, Christina, and Christina is autistic. It's mentioned in the first, like the novella and the first book, I think. But she is autistic. So her friend Christina is autistic. And Mia has some magical abilities, and you're watching as each book progresses that she learns a little bit more about her abilities, the rules of being a witch, and things like that. At this point, she has a boyfriend, and yeah. I mean, there's really, in this particular book, you are following Mia as she has her first opportunity to be a wedding event planner. So that's completely new. She was never doing this before. And there's someone involved in the wedding that ends up dead, and Mia is hired to be the event planner, coordinator, whatever you want to say, and her life is pretty much in danger. And so you're following as she's trying to figure out who is out to get her, and trying to keep herself safe and her friends safe and her grandma safe and things like that. And she's trying to investigate the best she can while she's also planning this wedding. And you do find out that werewolves exist. I will say that. You do have kind of like shapeshifters type things. They are werewolves. So you have werewolves and witches, and you're watching as things can be good between them and also not so good between them. So anyway, it was good. I gave this one 4 stars. I'm thoroughly enjoying this series. So it's a fun, very fun cozy mystery series. Okay, this last pick that Sam got for her game was a free pick. I went with Sleepwalker by R.L. Stine. I hope to get to this one this month because it is so short. I can read this one in one day, one evening. So this one should not be a problem. So I hope to at least get this one so I can get another book read, but I can't guarantee that. So I did not get to that one. I can't tell you anything about it. So out of all of the books on my TBR, this is all I read. I completed 4 books off of my TBR. Now, I do have the ebook going. This will be completed this month, and this one will be completed this month. So this will have been what I completed from my TBR, which it should have been a lot taller. But this will be what I have completed, and I hope to get at least another 1 or 2 added to this stack. Now, the reason why I did not get more, even though I still read a lot of books, I read quite a few like graphic novels and mangas for quests for the Magical Readathon. So keep an eye out for the Magical Readathon wrap-up. You'll know what I have completed. I do know that this book works for a prompt, and so I'm working on that, and then I have 1 more prompt to get to my career, so I will have at least 1 more prompt completed this week. So I will complete my Magical Readathon TBR. And for the quests, I just did Fear Street books, and I did graphic novels and mangas. So I did very quick and easy reads for the quest. So keep an eye out for that. That will be coming out shortly. I still need to film that one, but I will get that one filmed. And I hope you guys are doing well. Please talk to me in the comment section below. Tell me what your favorite read was for the month of April. And until next time, stay true to yourself and enjoy a good book. And I'll talk to you later.